Hello everyone and welcome to another installment of Slammin' Synapses right here on Facebook and YouTube. If you're viewing me through YouTube, you see a subscribe button up here. Click on that, keep up to date on the ongoings here at Slammin' Synapses. If you want to drop me a comment, you'll see a thing at the bottom. Feel free to pop one in there as well. If you're viewing me through a phone, different ways of doing both of those there. So be sure to take advantage of it. This is going to be the inaugural I Love TV version of the Slammin' Synapses segments that I do here. Now, for most of you that have seen most of my Slammin' Synapses segments, you've seen that they deal with wrestling, but we deal with a lot of other things here. That's just the primary focus. If you check out my first segment, the Volume 3, etc., 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 it's kind of rudimentary in terms of presentation, but things have changed a lot since then. But that will give you a good overview as to what this is about, what the mission statement is. Myself, when it comes to these segments, it will be mostly wrestling, but we do branch out into other things like causes and feelings and emotions and things of that nature. So don't let the fact that it is still titled Slammin' Synapses deter you from watching, because to me, Slammin' Synapses could be construed many different ways. To explain what it meant at the time is like I had a lot of thoughts going on in the head, a lot of synapses crackling that that it felt like they were slamming around my head. So hence the title, Slammin' Synapses. So like I said, don't be deterred by it. Stay tuned. I'm proud to be a wrestling fan. I will truly admit that. So I'm not ashamed of it. But we're not going to go into wrestling, although we may cover it from time to time via these segments. But this is primarily going to be based on TV. Inspiration for that, this is going to sound like an iJustine segment. I do have an iPhone 4. And from time to time when I would like clean kitchen or do things around the house or just to pass the time, I will put on segments through YouTube with TV themes. Things like Angie and Electra Woman and Diner Girl and Dallas and things of that nature. Just things to keep me company, things that brings me back to memories of youth, shows that I will always remember, and shows that I never heard of before but wish I had seen. So as time went on, went beyond this and got the wonderful iPad 2. Now from time to time I will put this up, and it's like a little 9-inch TV that I could view while doing stuff. So from time to time I'll watch wrestling on it. From time to time I'll watch Netflix, Hulu, things like that, and just view YouTube through it too. So I always have something to keep me entertained. I've always been one for TV as the best visual entertainment media around. Most people do stage it. Most people do plays. Some do musicals, some do radio, some do books. To me, it's been all about TV. With these segments, this is not, the I Love TV group is not going to be the Slammin' Synapses hour. I do encourage you to share clips. If you want to do segments of your own to share here, feel free to do so. If you want to share pictures, if you want to share stories, if you want to do YouTube clips, if you want to do other clips, by all means, feel free. This is open to everyone right now. There are a few members, if you're not a member so far. And I did invite some people in just as a starter. I do want to thank Matt Hoover for bringing a couple of people in. But if you want to join the madness as well, by all means, come and join us and have fun with it. I've seen so many groups on Facebook that I figured, why not start one? Hence, that's where I Love TV was born. So, like I said, this particular segment is gonna be a once in a while thing. You're gonna see the I Love TV segments probably once every 2-3 weeks, probably once a month. Like I said, this is not gonna be my hour per se. It's open to everybody. This is just gonna be a small fragment, small addition to it. And I hope it grows and I hope it expands to where there's a lot of opinions and a lot of viewpoints and a lot of good discussion to be had. So come check us out. You could find me on Facebook. It's I Love TV. You could also find me on Facebook as well at my name, Albert Gray. I see a graphic up here shortly here. But yeah, if you view me through YouTube, and you're not in Facebook, but you do have capability of getting on Facebook, by all means, join me. Check it out. So that's going to be the inaugural edition here. Do have one more thing that I want to go into. All my children, and I haven't really seen it in years, but this week All My Children goes off the air this Friday. Granted, it's being picked up as a possible web-only series and seems more and more definite. But 42 years. I believe that's how long they've been on the air. With 42 years to have a constant presence on the airwaves, 1 hour every week, every day, 5 days a week. They may have started out less, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, All My Children started off as a radio show. But the fact that a show like All My Children, a show like One Life to Live, a show like most of the soaps that are out there that have been on as long as they have been, to establish a core audience that will stick with them throughout those many years, where other shows have been canceled, other shows have been kind of like gone. Some shows have been on for like 1 or 2 shows and then just disappeared. It's a true testament to the show and the characters that people that interested, where they're going to tune in every day to see the ongoings of their favorite characters in Pine Valley or Landview or things of that nature. You don't see that these days anymore. Nowadays, some networks are just like quick to get rid of things and not really give the shows a chance to grow. But the fact that a show like All My Children has been on for about 42 years, consistently, no breaks, except for weekends and Olympics and special edition news reports. But the fact that they've been on for as long as they have been, I wish they go on longer. I mean, to myself, I just have like a little 2-year-old, and I said to myself, well, I grew up on this stuff. Granted, I got away from it, but maybe my little girl is probably going to get into it somewhere down the line, start watching it. Whatever she chooses is completely up to her, but it's just, there are some things that have become so much of a testament, so much of a fixture in our lives, that it's just going is just bizarre in a sense. Just has this feeling of like ending and being terminal. Now granted, like I said before, there is going to be life for the show online, but in terms of impact, like I said, for something to be on the air for that long says something about itself. It's kind of sad that an era is coming to an end tomorrow. And that's the All My Children era. And let me pull up something. This wasn't initially going to be a soap-related thing, but was initially going to be a welcome to the group type thing. But like I said, we are going to go many different places with this, with a lot of different topics. I think my next one is going to be based on events. Keep watching, you'll see what I'm talking about. But let's see. Gonna pull up this thing as I end this segment, and as soon as it comes up, I will let you know. Here we go. Just something to keep in mind. The end of an era ends tomorrow, as All My Children goes off the air. But keep this in mind. A poem written by Agnes Nixon, the writer of that great show. The great and the least, the rich and the poor, the weak and the strong, in sickness and in health, in joy and sorrow, in tragedy and triumph, you are all my children. For Slammin' Synapses, the I Love TV edition. Good night, everybody.